What's up? What's up, you guys? Let me tell everybody I am live. Let everybody know I'm live. We late. We late tonight. It's a late night. We're going in. We are going in. So tonight, you guys, we're going to talk about the TV Psyop. All right? TV's a Psyop. I hope you guys know that. Let me just tell everybody I'm live. Make sure you guys tell everybody we are live. What up? What up? What up? It's a late one. It's a late one. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going to tell everybody in my chat. I'm live. What up, y'all? What up? What up? Telling everybody we're live right now. We live. We live. All right. So you guys, tonight. It's a little dark. Got the light off. We're going to talk about some TV psyops, all right? And movies. You guys know I love movies. And they always show you in the movies, you guys. And the reason it's dark, I need a new ring light. So, but I'm setting the scene, all right? Setting the scene. My new ring light comes tomorrow. What up? What up? I see you guys in the chat. Drop your cities. Drop your cities. Drop your cities in the chat. Make sure you drop your cities in the chat before we get started. All right. Let's go. Have you seen the movie Belko Experiment? No. Send me a link. Definitely send me a link. Free will don't exist. I think so. To a certain degree. What up? What up? We got Tacoma in the house. All right. Drop your cities in the chat. Drop your cities in the chat, you guys. So tonight, everybody's been ranting and raving about Love Island. All right. Now, who knows who Love Island is? Do we care? I want to show you guys something. I got to check out that movie. We got Louisville, we got Crenshaw, we got Milwaukee. What up, y'all? What up? What up? What's going on? We got Oakland in the house. All right. Stop on by. All right. Roseville, California. California. Yeah, it's beginning to be a communist state over there, you guys. They're doing a lot of stuff that is just taking them under. Huntsville. What up? All right. Got Charlotte in the house. So, you guys, if you haven't heard of a little show called Love Island. All right. Now, this show, you guys, it's been around for a while. Here's the thing, though. It's been making a lot of waves lately, all right? And I did my little research and kind of see what's going on with this show. And I made some correlations, and I made some videos. I made a video earlier today to show you guys why I think this show and a multitude of other shows are government operated. Now, Maverick, why would you say that? Why would anybody care in the government to be worried about a reality show? Well, I'll tell you why. Here's the thing. So somebody said they never heard of the show. So yeah, everybody's talking about it. So I tweeted this. I said, Love Island is a CIA operation to distract you and to promote hookup culture. Let's fight about it. Now, here's the thing. Why does the DOD, the Department of Defense, have an entertainment and media fund where they assist productions with script writing, production, funding? What does the Department of Defense have to do with entertainment? Why? And there's a multitude of things linking this, you guys. It goes way deep. This is a distraction, you guys. This is promoting hookup culture. This is promoting nonsense. This is promoting, and it's just a distraction. It's just a distraction. But gets even deeper. So the fact that this show, they're doing watch parties, you guys. Okay? Watch parties. Have you guys heard of this? Who does a watch party at a bar or at a club? I'm gonna show you this. This is crazy, you guys. Look at this. The Philly bar is hosting Love Island USA. Why do we care? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is a psyop. Somebody said, I work with the DOD. A lot going on. People are sleepers. Damn. There you have it. Somebody just said, who works with the DOD. There's a lot going on. And people are asleep. That's all you need to know right there. So, yes, it's destroying the family unit and whatnot. They're doing watch parties all over. Okay, fine, right? So let's go back in time for a minute, because how did we get here? So if you look at all these shows back in the day, you guys, let's take a look, because they're much different than where they were, you know. So look. So you have Step by Step. You have Family Matters. You had Home Improvement. Married with Children. All these shows are family shows. Now, why are these shows so popular back in the day? And then why are they so different now? Completely infiltrated. Simpsons, Roseanne. I can go on and on. Boy Meets World. They're all family shows, you guys. We used to watch a lot of family shows back in the day, and they were good. What happened? I think I have some answers. So, at the turn of the, well, not century, but I guess it's the millennium. something happened. Okay. So there's a little patent at the turn of the century, you guys. I want to show you this patent. Can anybody tell me why there's a patent on your nervous system through your TV? Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors. So you mean to tell me this was filed when? June of 2001. Isn't that right after the timeline of all these 90s shows? So you mean they started to manipulate us from TVs after the 90s? And then, after that, TV got real degenerate, didn't it? So you mean they have this patent, which is, you can look this up. Why would you need to manipulate a nervous system? Frequencies, you guys, through your TV. This is why I don't watch TV, you guys. I don't know what's going on in the TV world. Yeah, somebody said Leave It to Beaver, Brady Bunch. They're all family shows. I mean, you can even go back to some of the 70s shows. So you mean to tell me that at the turn of the millennium, we had a patent that controls you through your TV? Yeah, Jersey Shore. Somebody said Jersey Shore. Yeah, that kicked it off. All these shows, you guys. Yes, correct. I also said in my video too, this patent was filed right before 9/11. It was filed in June 2001. A couple months later, guess what happens? Interesting. So were we seeing what we thought we were seeing during 9/11? Because some people said that second plane wasn't even real. Okay. Some people say that second plane wasn't even real. And speaking of 9/11, quick sidebar. If you guys want to go down a quick rabbit hole, have you guys ever heard of a man named Barry Jennings? Barry Jennings. This guy was a whistleblower. He was an eyewitness during the 9/11 attacks. Okay. He worked for the city. And he said that it was explosions going off because he was in the second tower. Okay. He actually did an interview on the ground floor. There he is, Barry Jennings. Okay. So he gives his testimony. He survives this whole thing, tells ABC7, as soon as it happens, there was explosions going off. He works for the federal housing department. He was a deputy for the housing department. So then, a little bit later, there was an investigation. He tries to give his testimony. Where's Barry? Oh, Barry's dead. Wait, what do you mean Barry's dead? Yeah, he's dead. So he couldn't give his testimony? Very interesting. How is it that this man just mysteriously dies? Just saying. So, yes, quick tangent. So, yes, somebody else said different world. Living single was life lessons, growing pains. Yep. Yeah. So even the shows, you guys, back in the 90s, that wasn't about family. It was about young adults, coming of age, all this stuff. overcoming adversity. Do you notice that all the shows now have no point? Let's look at 2010 TV shows. They're probably all reality. So it's either fiction, but where's all the family shows? There's no family shows. Like none of these are family shows. Like some of these are like kid shows, but there's nothing. All there is now is reality shows. Because reality shows took off, of course you have the Kardashians, of course you have Jersey Shore. None of this, like all this shit is mindless stuff, you guys. Big Brother. Like Drag Race. What? You guys, where's all the family shows? Where's all the shows that we had in the 90s to where it was about coming of age or it was family, learning lessons? Come on, you guys. You guys saw the shift. You guys saw the shift. That's crazy. All these shows are just about degeneracy now. Like all these shows. And then Love Island, of course, is probably the worst of them all. I don't even know. I haven't watched it. I don't watch TV, you guys. I haven't watched TV in a long time. But why are we watching people just bang each other all day on an island? Why do we care? Oh, we'll talk about the Creep Club for sure. So somebody brought it up in the chat. Gets a little spooky with that one. They said, don't forget about the weird Nickelodeon feet fetish. So Nickelodeon, you guys. Dan Schneider, who was a big writer for Nickelodeon, him and his buddies were, they were some sick guys, and it was a group of them called the Creep Club. Okay, that was their nicknames. They didn't name themselves that. Other people named them that. But long story short, these guys, a lot of them went to jail. A lot of them got convicted. Dan Schneider never got convicted of anything because he just was just outside the realm of actually being convicted of something. But yeah, there's a lot of innuendos in those TV shows that he created. A lot of sexual innuendos for sure. Watching those are like those 2000 shows, a little weird. Even going back, if you guys watch those old shows that he produced in like the late 90s, early 90s, or not early 90s, sorry, it was mid to late 90s that he was producing. Him specifically, he was writing stuff, and man, it goes crazy, like, because he was obsessed with feet. He used to have these jokes. Do you guys remember Amanda Bynes? She had a character named Taint, and as a kid, you didn't pick it up. But do you guys remember that as kids? Remember Taint? Crazy, bro. Amanda Bynes. What was the character was Taint. Taint character or something. Yeah. Penelope Taint. Yeah, she spelled it differently. It was with a Y. You guys know what a taint is? That's crazy, bro. Like Dan Schneider was writing this stuff. That's horrible, you guys. Like I didn't know as a kid. When I was watching it as a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is funny." Like But now you're like, wait a minute, why is your name Taint? And he used to do this. He used to write these like little clues into the shows that you wouldn't get it as a kid, but as an adult, you're like, that's weird. And I even heard that I think Amanda Bynes was I think she was trying to go to beauty school or driving Uber, or she was trying to do something. Like she's all messed up now. And here's the thing, you guys, I used to be a kid actor. I got out when I was like 13, 12-ish. And you know why I got out? I started when I was 4. And I acted for a long time. But the reason I got out, I was like, damn, I'm growing up too fast. And as a kid, thinking that, you're like, I don't like this industry anymore. So I got out. And I had a great childhood, but thank God I did, because seeing all these child actors, you guys, now, they're finished. They're cooked. They're all cooked. A lot of them are cooked. Some of them don't come back. Some of them, you know, you got Orlando Brown, Amanda Bynes. You have what's her name? Lindsay Lohan, she started out young. She bounced back, but she's never the same as she used to be. And you guys want to see something else that's really crazy? So, peep this. You may or may not know, or may have seen this, but it's a little strange that, speaking of Nickelodeon, why does Epstein's Island look like the Nickelodeon splat? It's literally the same logo. Is this a coincidence? Come on. I can see it. You like T and Tamara's little brother. Mom or dad didn't help get you out. No, that was something I wanted to do when I first started. I told my mom I wanted to do it. Had a great career, and I told her I wanted to get out. She was like, "All right, cool. You want to get out?" She was never pushed me. It was all my idea. Because as a kid, you wanted to be on TV and do all this stuff. But when I wanted to get out, I got right out. Macaulay Culkin is cooked. Dude, oh, okay. Hold on. Hold the phone. So you just said Macaulay Culkin. So he was a big child actor, right? Okay. Did you guys know this about Macaulay? Hold on. This gets a little spooky too. This one gets crazy. Hold on. Yo, so peep this, you guys. Hold the phone. Why does Macaulay Culkin have a band named The Pizza Underground? Come on. Coincidence? Why would you name your band The Pizza Underground? So he has a comedy rock band named The Pizza Underground. And they went on it says from 13 to 18. But bro, how blatant is that? Like, the Pizza Underground? Come on. That's wild times. He knows. He definitely knows. Now, is he part of that club? I don't know. Is he giving you clues with this band name because it only went on for a few years, then stopped? But I find that really weird to name your band the Pizza Underground. Knowing what we know now about pizza, knowing what we know now about underground facilities that was found under children's schools, which actually happened in Los Angeles. A former government official disclosed this to where he was doing an investigation and he actually found underground tunnels under a preschool, you guys. This is documented. This happened in the 80s. Somebody said, don't forget about the Naked Brothers band. I always thought that was weird. Naked Brothers band. Hold on, bro. Were they Disney or Nickelodeon? Oh, they were Nickelodeon. That is very weird too. I always thought those was weird. Even as a kid, I was like, this is a weird name. Why would you name your band this? Did you guys not think this was weird before? I always thought this was weird, you guys. Look at the symbolism, all right? It's always in the names, movies, music, you name it, you guys. That's crazy. Somebody said, did you hear about how during the Maui fires, they wouldn't let parents pick up children from the schools, and about a helicopter carrying a cargo ship? So I did hear that. I also heard that a lot of kids, since the fires, are still missing. A lot of people were displaced during the Maui fires. And there's reports of a lot of missing kids in Maui. And none of that is getting publicized. They're saying some kids are still missing. So I think that's pretty odd too. What is that about? Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. The Naked Brothers band is wild. That's a wild name if you think about it. That's weird. And here's the Creep Club, you guys. Here's the Creep Club, the Nickelodeon Creep Club. So here they go. So you got Dan Schneider, you got Jason Handy, Marty Weiss, Brian Peck, Easel Channel. So all these guys, they all worked at Nickelodeon. So you got a production assistant at all that. You got this guy, Brian Peck. If you guys haven't seen that documentary on Nickelodeon, The Quiet on Set, make sure you guys watch that. He worked on all that. And Brian Peck, this dude, he was probably the worst of them all because he actually was in contact. I think it was John Wayne Gacy. So John Wayne Gacy, I think he used to be in contact with him. He used to dress up as a clown and kill people. And he was in contact with him. He had pictures of him and his walls. Like he wrote to him all the time. It was like, bro, this dude works with kids and you're in contact with a serial killer. Crazy. It's wild times. Let's see. I'm reading your comments right now. They all look like pedos. Well, yeah, they are. They are pedos. They're literally called the Creep Club. And you guys, I made like re-release this interview that I did. This was like almost 2 years ago, and I interviewed somebody. I gotta either interview him again or I gotta re-release this interview. So I actually interviewed somebody from Nickelodeon. Do you guys remember Animorphs? Do you guys remember a show called Animorphs? Remember that Nickelodeon show? Remember these books? Animorphs? Okay. So Nickelodeon TV show. So I interviewed this guy right here. He's an actor on the Animorphs show. And he told me that he was SA'd and molested by a producer on this show. And this guy is still at large today. So I need to re-release that interview because this guy, I don't know if he's still working in the industry as far as the producer, but the actor, I interviewed him. He told me the whole story, how he got drugged. The guy even drugged his wife later on too. And it's this whole crazy story, you guys. So I got to re-release this interview for sure. I have to, like, because I did it when I had like 40, 50,000 followers. And my following is way bigger now. I just hit 200K on Instagram. I'm at 210 right now. So like my reach is far beyond than what I had before. So I got to re-release this, you guys. But I did an interview with him, this guy right here. His name, let me get the cast name. I believe his name is Boris. I want to say it's Boris. Yes, Boris Cabrera. So he's not in the industry anymore. He stopped after this. So he did Animorphs and he did like 2 other things and he got out the game. He told me, he was like, yo, the industry's dark. I'm out. After he got, SA'd by this producer who works with kids, giving him drinks. He straight like diddied him the whole way. Passed out. He told me he passed out and he woke up in his drawers. Like this, like crazy shit, you guys. Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. So I gotta re-release that interview, you guys. I gotta re-release that interview. That needs to be heard for sure. Because this is crazy. He told me that whole story. I was like, bro, like this is wild. So I'm definitely gonna re-release that interview, you guys. That story needs to be told again. But this producer who assaulted him, he never got caught. And that's why I was doing the whole interview, because I put his name out there. This guy is not behind bars. And I have way more influence now than I did back then when I interviewed him. So now's the time. Yeah, he told me that whole story. It was crazy, you guys. So we're definitely going to re-release that. But yeah, that's why this whole TV thing is like movies. There's definitely some dark stuff going on behind the scenes. This is why we're seeing what's happening with Diddy right now. You give a man too much money, too much power, too much free reign, too much leeway, he's going to become a Diddy. If he doesn't have self-control. I always say a man who can control himself can control the universe. Can't do that, universe is gonna show you one way or another what this is all about, and not in a good way, because there's lessons to be learned. So if you think you're just gonna coast by and do nefarious shit and think you're gonna go unanswered, you got another thing coming. Yeah, the slime thing, I've heard that theory too. We'll touch on that in a minute, but just want to keep my train of thought. But yeah, the universe goes unanswered, you guys. The universe is undefeated. I had an ex-girlfriend steal money from me. Then guess what? Her hair started falling out. Universe is undefeated. I didn't have to do anything. Didn't have to do anything. So next time you think about something, doing something, let the universe take care of it. Everything balances out. And then move on about your day. Now, that doesn't mean don't defend yourself. That doesn't mean, if there's a confrontation and yes, you stand up for yourself. There was other things that you can do. But don't get dragged down with other people. That's the thing. Never get dragged down. Misery loves company. That is a fact. Family show, The Upshaws. Is that a new show? I'm not sure if I heard of that show. They're all protected because they're part of the same club. One get caught, they all do the fall guy. So you're saying Diddy's a fall guy? Could be. Diddy was sloppy. Maybe he got out of hand. Maybe he thought he was bigger than the program. And they put him in his place. So could be. Two things can be true at once, you guys. Two things can be true at once. Somebody said facts. My ex-wife stole thousands from me while I was ill with TBI and been in calamity approaching a decade now. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So real quick, the Nickelodeon slime. Huh. That is a theory too. So, and yeah, this one's just a theory. It's green slime, right? So we all know Nickelodeon green slime. Now, why do you guys think the Nickelodeon slime was green? Isn't Nickelodeon's colors orange? Why did they pick green? Isn't that weird? Well, the theory is the reason that they picked that particular green, you guys, is because that is green screen green. Why would they pick a green screen color? Because they can change it into another color, if you get me. Wouldn't that make sense? Because anything that when you chroma key it out or chroma key it in, it has to be the background color of that said thing. So if something's pouring over you, it has the same color as the background, guess what? You can change whatever color it is. A little weird. Just a theory, but that's what they said. That's why they made the green slime instead of orange. Because Nickelodeon's color is orange, right? But they use green. So yeah, that's the theory. We're just ruining childhoods tonight, so let's keep going. It's all right. Just a theory, though. We don't know if that's real or not, but it does make sense. Just saying, does make sense. It's pretty odd. Do you guys think that's what it is? And speaking of entertainment, real quick, let's go down a quick tangent on Diddy, because we were talking about the entertainment business and all this other stuff. So tomorrow we might hear the rest of this verdict. So there's a partial verdict that is happening right now with Diddy. He has 5 counts. So 2 out of the 5 they've already deliberated on. 1 count they can't come to a conclusion. The RICO conspiracy charge, that's still undecided. So that makes no sense, being that he has a charge. If you guys don't know what a RICO is a conspiracy, a ring. So you can't be in a conspiracy by yourself, because you have to be in a group to conspire with others. So a RICO case doesn't really make sense. So it's, racketeering, organized crime, all that stuff. But how are you doing all that by yourself? The Diddler. That picture is hilarious. I made that today. He is Mr. Diddles. But 2 through 5, they've already reached a verdict. What that verdict is, I don't know. They did it pretty fast, so he may be guilty. But how much time does he get? Because, some things they were saying he can get life in prison. Some things, you can get a slap on the wrist, a couple years in prison, and that's it. What does this look like? So he has SA charges, assault charges. But what happened to all those other charges? Remember they said that he had kids? What happened to that? Remember he said he had kids and they had a bunch of other charges, but I don't see any of those charges here. Isn't that weird? How is it that he was messing with minors, but he doesn't have any assault charges on minors or pedo charges or nothing? Something's up. I don't know. It would be wild if he completely got off. I don't think that's going to happen, but I've seen stranger things. Some people say in the chat he's going to walk. Damn. Do you guys think that Diddy's going to walk? Do you guys really think that? To me personally, at this point, I think the prosecution dropped the ball on a lot of stuff. And I think he's only going to get a couple of years. He might be out by the end of next year, you guys. Because he already has time served. Let's not forget, he's been in jail for a year, you guys. He already has time served. So say he gets like 2 years, even 3 years, okay. He's already done a year. He'll be out in a couple years. I don't know. The prosecution, they should have. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough, because where are those other charges that they said they had with minors? How did that disappear? And there's a few other charges that disappeared too. Now they're trying to get him on the Mann Act, which is, you know what? If you guys don't know what the Mann Act is, the Mann Act was established back in the early 1900s. They used to call it the White Slave Act, or the White Slave Criminal Act. But essentially, they used it against black men. So Jack Johnson, look up Jack Johnson. He was a heavyweight boxer back in the early 1900s. He was sleeping with white women. So they created a law to where they said he was trafficking and moving these women around across state lines to make it illegal for him to sleep with white women. That's where the Mann Act came from. They used to call it the White Slave Act, and then they transferred it to the Mann Act. So they're trying to get Diddy on that, but I don't know, because they're saying that he paid people off for sexual acts and all this other stuff, which he did. So I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. He could have told. He has a lot of information, you guys. Let's not forget that. He's not a regular just citizen, you guys. Whomever's on those tapes. Remember they raided his house and they said he had a bunch of tapes? Where are those tapes? You mean to tell me they're only showing his freak offs and not other people's freak offs? Why is it that we're only seeing a sliver of evidence and footage when there's a multitude of people who's on those tapes? Think about it. J-Lo, you got to know something, right? Ben Affleck, all these people, like, they just don't go away, you guys. Like, they got to know something. Somebody's on those tapes. Somebody's on those diddler tapes. Who else do you guys think is on those diddler tapes? Give me some names in the chat. Because I'm going to tell you a few people who I think is on those tapes. No, there's no other names we're talking about right now. Isn't that weird? It's a little strange. All these celebrities that went to his parties over the years, he's had the biggest parties in entertainment for years, for decades. And nobody's on those tapes. Very interesting. Damn, a lot of y'all saying Nelly. Damn. J-Lo, Oprah, Jay-Z, Beyonce. Yeah, I think they got some politicians on there too, for sure. Stevie J. California went up in smoke, right? Right after Diddy. So think about this, you guys. Diddy gets arrested, gets indicted. Then we have these fires that could destroy a lot of evidence. Papers, documents, hard drives, tunnels. And I've heard through the grapevine, can't say who told me, but there is a celebrity that does have tunnels under their house. This person's on TV right now. Been on TV for about 30 years. And they can confirm that they have tunnels in their houses. Now, I can't say who it is because it gives away to who this person is, and I got to protect them. But let's just say that's probably going to come out soon. And if you're in my private Break the Matrix group, I might tell my Break the Matrix group just because it's private. I can probably drop it there. So the link's in my bio. If you're on YouTube, go to below and go to Break the Matrix. I'll probably drop it in there because I don't know who's watching on here. I'm live. I have a lot of people following me and watching me. So I got to be careful on who I speak about sometimes. But there is somebody who has confirmed that they've seen it. They've seen tunnels under this celebrity's house. Yeah, actually, you know what? Get into my Break the Matrix. I'm gonna drop it in there. It's in the bio. I'll drop it in the chat too. Do you want to? You said give you a hint. If I give you a hint, you'll get it right away. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Got to be careful. Yeah, exactly. Got to be careful. Got to move a little bit covert. Ellen no longer on TV. Ellen, yeah, she moved to the UK. Man, I really want to tell y'all, but I can't. Get into my group, you guys. Get into my group. Get into my group. Get into Break the Matrix. That's the only place I'm gonna drop it. It's the only place I'm gonna drop it for sure. It's a little spooky. Gets a little spooky. His LA mansion has tunnels that lead to the Playboy Mansion. Yeah, so Diddy's house that was in Homely Hills, Beverly Hills, which is like the Beverly Hills of Beverly Hills, was only a mile away from the Playboy Mansion. And the Playboy Mansion confirmed, has tunnels. Oh, okay. Well, can't show that. Didn't have to fill. I put in Playboy Mansion and just pulled up a bunch of naked ladies. I'm trying to pull up the damn mansion, and it just showed a bunch of. Can we actually get pictures of the mansion instead of naked people? This is crazy. Okay, so yeah, somebody says old news. A lot of people don't know though. They don't know. A lot of people don't know that this place had tunnels. I'll pull up the article actually. So here's the article right here. I'll show you guys. Yeah, Google, wow, for that. Google didn't even have any filters on. That's crazy. So yeah. Secret tunnels were built under the Playboy Mansion in the 1970s. There you go. Now, why would you need tunnels? Now, they said that these tunnels were used for privacy for the celebrities to move and, you know, be covert. But that seems like a cop out. I think it's a bit much, right? You need tunnels for celebrities to move around. I mean, very strange. And here it is right here, you guys. This is the mansion. 12 beds, 21 bathrooms, 20,000 square feet. Damn, I didn't know it was 20,000 square feet. That's crazy. I thought it was like 10, 15 at the most. It's 20,000 square feet. Yo, you definitely got tunnels for sure. For sure, for sure. Now, there's other stories from people who used to work there. There's a documentary on Playboy Mansion. So they actually said when they were working there, Hugh Hefner had something called Pig Night, where he referred to the women as pigs and used to bring up all the pimps from Sunset Boulevard, brought them up to the crib, and he had every Thursday night was Pig Night. And he asked the pimps, hey, how many pigs do you have? Yada, yada, yada. Let's call them pigs. Sounds like trafficking to me. But I digress. Yeah, McMartin Preschool. Yes, that's what it was. That's the preschool I was talking about in Los Angeles, where they found those tunnels under a preschool. It's crazy. Somebody said reptilians and lizards. People need tunnels. Yo, I'm about to really blow your mind. So think about this. What does that sound like? You're saying reptilians and tunnels, and we're just talking about pizza. Weren't we just talking about that? Under the Macaulay Culkin, his band was named the Pizza Underground, right? Who else is underground eating pizzas? Wild guess. Ninja Turtles. You have, I don't think turtles are reptilians. I think they're amphibians. But, sliding scale. But you have these amphibian, reptilian beings underground eating pizza. And I love the Ninja Turtles. I'm sorry. I do. Like, as a kid, Ninja Turtles, the movie, the original one, was my favorite. You guys remember the movie? The 90s movie? This one? Great movie. I love this movie. But isn't that weird, though? I'm just saying. You have reptilians or amphibians underground eating pizza. And Macaulay Culkin's band was named the Pizza Underground. Coincidence? And they're like in the sewer tunnels. They're in tunnels. I'm just saying. We got to be in a prison planet meant for reptilians to harvest our energy. So if you guys haven't seen a movie called They Live, it depicts that too, to where essentially they're not reptilian looking things, but they're like these alien looking things, to where they're taking over. They look like humans, but they're not. He has these glasses on where you can see him. But here's the thing. In the movie, they reference the year 2025, which is crazy. They're saying that they were going to take over by the year 2025, or like globally, they would take over. And that's in the movie. It's always in the movies, you guys. That's why I pull up movies. They live. There you go. And if you haven't seen this movie, go check it out ASAP. ASAP, ASAP, ASAP. Dude puts on these glasses. He's trying to get his friend put on the glasses. You can't see him without the glasses. So then they look like that. Like once you put on the glasses, then you're gonna see that. And then you're seeing like all these subliminal messages, right? Right here. Obey, consume, conform. All this changes when you put the glasses on. So the veil is being lifted and you can see it. Stay asleep. He looks at the money. He said, "This is your God." Crazy. This movie's a documentary. So I don't know. I feel like they always put in the movies first. And then shit just comes true. Somebody said, "I'm relying on blockchain to help me combat the NWO and Agenda 2030. I don't rely on UBI and such." Correct. I think we're going to have to rely on our own tools like blockchain, creating your own AIs, because if we're using theirs, we're falling right back into their system and opting right back in. Right into this. Consume, obey, conform. That's it. But I'm glad of you guys. Everybody's waking up. A lot of people, I get so many DMs, you guys. I get so many messages per day. People, this stuff you couldn't talk about like 5 years ago. They would think you're crazy. But we've seen so many crazy things in the last 5 years. Nothing is really crazy anymore. It's almost like the norm. Like people are waking up. Nobody's really paying attention to nonsense. Like some people are. You'll have your NPCs, but there's a lot more. People be like, "Man, I've had a conversation today when somebody was like, 'Hey, I saw you on your content. I love it, and I don't feel like I'm crazy watching you because I have other friends that are sheep and don't think like me. But you do, and I watch your content, and you actually bring receipts, so I don't feel crazy.'" So you just got to find your tribe. Who else feels crazy or from before felt crazy? None of y'all shouldn't feel crazy at this point because we've seen a lot of crazy shit to where it's been verified. But who used to feel crazy, or if you still do, you can be honest, talking to your friends that are NPCs that just go with the herd anyway. You can bring somebody a ton of receipts and they'll still be like, I don't know about that. It's like, come on, how many times does something need to occur to where it's not a coincidence? Just saying. Just saying. The veil was lifted after that. Yes, correct. 100%. I feel like it's still lifting for some people. That's what we need. Ooh, Coast to Coast AM. Great show. That one call that the guy, he said he was working at Area 51. I don't think that was fake because they tried to double back, and the guy came back on the show later and said, "Hey, I was just kidding. For one, why are you kidding? Two, you have great acting skills. Like, you shouldn't be working at Area 51. You need to be in Hollywood. So I don't think you were acting." And three, if it was a prank, wouldn't you just want to keep it as a prank? You have to double back and say, "Oh, it was a prank." That makes me think it's not a prank. And they said the guys the second time didn't really sound like the first guy. Sounds similar, but it wasn't him. So I thought that was very interesting. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the Area 51 call from the Coast to Coast AM show back in the 90s. Great show. There's a radio show he called in, but this guy called in and said that he worked at Area 51 and there was a lot of stuff that we didn't know. Stuff was going down and nothing is what it seems, basically. Like what we think, what is happening in the government and people in charge, something else is happening, which is I find funny because a whistleblower by the name of Matthew Brown just came out and said the very same thing. He works for the Department of Defense. He's a whistleblower, and he said that the people that we think that are in control are not in control. There's something else, not someone, something else is in control. Other entities, interdimensional beings. That's what I've heard. Again, they live. This is why I think the movie is true. I don't know. These movies, man, they're so spot on, man. And the fact that the government works with Hollywood all the time, have a whole department. Don't you think it's weird that a lot of celebrities, you guys, look like people from the past, like almost like they're cloned, almost like they're chosen, right? Have you guys seen those pictures where there's doppelgangers from back in the past? Let me pull this up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Come on, y'all. What? Hold on. What? How is this a real picture? How is this a real person? This is a guy from looks like the 1800s, and he looks exactly like Matthew McConaughey. Come on. Again, this is a real person who looks exactly alike Nicolas Cage. I think these people are cloned. Not all of them. Some of them are put in place, cloned, because they are controlled and they are from a certain bloodline or whatever it is, but they're put in place. Okay. I think I'm back. Can you guys see me? Thumbs up. Something just happened to my stream. Weird. Very weird. I start talking about celebrities and my stream gets cut. It's a little spooky. Can you guys hear me? We good? Hopefully the stream is still up. Let me make sure the stream is still up. Okay, I think I'm still good. Can't see you. Can you guys still see me? Yeah, good. Can you hear me? It's very strange that my stream goes out as soon as I start talking about celebrities and clones. Okay, that's weird. We've seen this before, you guys. Every time, me and BH go live and we see it all the time. They said you was onto something. They try to shut you down. Damn. Very strange. Very interesting. So yes, Nick Cage. Look at this one. This one's hilarious. Yo, so this dude looks just like Ellen. Looks just like her. How are these celebrities looking alike, bro? From these people in the past. Justin Timberlake. That's crazy. What? Oh, and Eddie, look at this. This is a real person. I don't know. Some looking at these pictures give me chills, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, just stay with me for a minute. These people that we think that are so amazing and phenomenal. Well, if they're just put in place, they're just recycled people, clones, bloodlines. It's very strange. And how many of them look like people from the past? Exactly like them. I would say one or two, but it's like a whole list of them. That's kind of crazy. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. Very strange. Oh, here's another fun fact. Speaking of celebrities and people who are related and clones, whatever. Do you guys know that Hillary Clinton is actually related to um, Angelina Jolie? Angelina Jolie is related to Hillary Clinton. They are cousins. You guys want to know who else is related? So there's a little guy named by the name of Tom Hanks. Do you know who he is related to? I'll give you a wild guess. It's not another celebrity. It's somebody in politics. He's related to none other than Abraham Lincoln. Look it up. Abraham Lincoln is related to Tom Hanks, you guys. Now, how they're related? Let's go down a quick rabbit hole on how they're related. So, Lincoln, it's on the maiden name side, his mom. So Tom Hanks, his mom, Nancy Hanks, is related to Abraham Lincoln. So Nancy Hanks was the mother of Abraham Lincoln. Distant cousin, right here. Right there. On Wikipedia. Tom Hanks, distant cousin. The mother of Abraham Lincoln. Coincidence? I think not. Come on. It's like the Truman Show, you guys. It's wild times. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, you guys. Make sure you guys join Break the Matrix on school.com. I dropped the link in the chat. I'll drop in the link in the chat again. If you guys want to know who I was talking about, who has the tunnels, I'm going to put it in there. Okay? I'll put it in there. Put it in the chat. If you're on YouTube, the link is in the bio. If you're on X, I'll just tweet it out, put it on X too. But I'll drop it in there if you guys want to know who has those tunnels. Can't say it on here. Or just get into my Telegram too, and then the link is in there too. So, but thank you guys, appreciate it. We got even more people joining right now, but we'll go ahead and get some sleep. Maybe I'll start a little bit sooner tomorrow. I do a lot and got a lot going on and doing content and building businesses, all this stuff. But I try to get on here on these lives. But once we get the studio up and running, you guys, we're going to do even more live streams. We got Australia in the house. Thank you. What's up? Obama and Brad Pitt are supposed to be related. That's crazy. I got to look into that one. If that's true, that would be wild because Angelina Jolie related to Hillary Clinton. Then you have Obama relating to Brad. So one big circle right there. It's kind of crazy. I'll look into that one though. Good find. Let me see if I can find someone on that. So make sure you guys join Break the Matrix. Link is in the bio. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be on here a little bit earlier if it doesn't get too crazy, too busy with the content and whatever else. But yeah, jump on, the Telegram, Break the Matrix community. We're growing. We have weekly calls. So make sure you guys follow me on X as well and Instagram as well, Maverick Approach. So thank you guys. Keep questioning everything. Nothing is what it seems. Peace.